everybody. I wanted to give some insights into the songwriting process, and I'm going to actually show you today a song I'm working on and how I'm working on it, and some of my ideas and concepts around songwriting as a process overall. Because I think I've learned a lot. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you probably are not familiar with my songs at all. And I, struggle with getting them heard just like every other independent artist on the planet. But I love songwritings. I consider myself a songwriter, and I've learned a few things over the 15, 20 years that I've been doing this. So wanted to share them with you because I think recently I've had especially a breakthrough with the songwriting process. So first of all, the number one thing I can tell you if you're a songwriter is you're doing it right. Like, however you're doing it, and if it works for you, that's the way to do it. I'm going to show you some tricks on how to get there, but the biggest piece of it is inspiration. Like, whatever inspires you, then that's what inspires you, and that's all that matters. So you're gonna come up with the songs you come up with, and whatever inspires you and creates that spark, that is the key. Like, if you've got that, that's magic. And then the rest of it is just filling in the pieces and putting it together and finishing a song. And the song isn't finished until you decide it's finished. But I've been working on this song, and I write songs two different ways. So if you check out some of the music I have now, a lot of it is story driven. So for instance, like the song that introduced this video, Betsy Lane, that's a story that I came up with. I consciously wanted to write a specific story about a person in an area. There's also abstract writing, and that's probably my favorite to do, where it's a little bit more up to the the listener's interpretation of what the song is about, and it could be heavily metaphor driven, or something that comes from the unconscious. And something I struggled with for a long time was I would have music forever, for years, and I could not figure out lyrics to put to it. So I've done a few exercises recently that have helped me. So to start off, like, here's this song I've been working on, and the chord structure is just very basic. It's just a very quick folk song, just so I was just playing this, and I kind of liked it. I'm like, oh, something's here. So I was, just, what you do is you want to take your phone and start recording, and start just doing phonetic words, whatever words come to your mind. Let that subconscious speak. So I started coming up with a chorus, and I got to the chorus, and what came out of me for this song was just, I was walking away, I was walking away. So that is now what that song is. It's I was walking away. That's a song. So you got to roll with that. Now it's like, okay, something inside me is about walking away. Well, I got to figure out what that is. So one of the exercises you can do is take some books or newspapers, magazines, anything that can spark an idea from you, and start, just picking out words to along with the music to get what you get an idea or spark something in you. You don't have to necessarily blatantly rip off the words or rip off the story, or take a poem and just take those words. You don't want to do that. Plenty of people do it, but if it sparks a story in your mind or gets your brain going, that's all it takes. So for instance, my favorite writer in the whole world is David Sedaris. I love his works, and he's from North Carolina, and he tells a lot of stories about his family and growing up and, you know, his life. And I love everything he does. I love reading his books. So I'd never really used his books for inspiration. So I just started, like, you might take like a noun out of one book and verbs out of another book, or lines or things like that, and start constructing things. So I'll show you kind of what I did and how I got to where I am with the song now. And what I'm going to do is I'll show you mid-progress with the song, and then I'm going to finish it. I'm going to work on it, and I'll come back and show you how I finished it. So I started just writing down like random words, random phrases that I thought fit the mood of the chord structure that I came up with of the song. So I was trying to think, like, what is this? I was walking away. What am I trying to say? I needed to get down in there. So just to give you some things, here's literally what I started writing down from things from his books. Like, one of them was, I inhaled the drag off my Marlboro Red, scattered across the forest floor. What I needed was a weapon, and then some random words were like camel light, chain smoking, suspiciously, irreverence. Then there was the word Connecticut, which I was actually born in Connecticut, so that stuck out to me. A country hero, boozy reminiscing, flash in the pan. So I started like taking these words and just kind of singing them to this melody, and found like a singing melody that went with the chords. And I started to pick out phrases, and I took some of the things, like they inspired my actual words, so I rearranged them, I put things together, and it just helped me figure out, like, oh, what is this song about? So I decided that the main character in this story I was telling was a guy I knew. And let me tell you, let me sing the song for you. I'll actually show you where I'm at, and you'll kind of see how I took the inspiration of those lyrics and created my own thing to tell my own story. So here goes what I've got so far for I Was Walking Away. See, I already screwed it up. Okay. Take two. She figured out so quickly when I confronted her. Dyed blonde hair and black stockings, little scarf around her neck. We pulled in to Connecticut, smoking camel lights, flash in the pan, little romance scattered on the floor. I was walking away, I was walking away, I was walking away from you, from you. Alright, so that's where I'm at. So you can kind of see how I took a lot of those words and created my own thing, but they sparked something in my head that helped fill in that story. So, I mean, it is left up to your interpretation what it's about, but I mean, I think some of it's a little bit obvious about it is a couple that are in a car, and they're chain smoking, and something's going down between them. I think the guy in this scenario, they probably, they've been driving a long distance, they're pulling into their destination, and it's very obvious it's over. And that's the story I'm going with. And it's I like the words, and it's helping me craft like the lyrics and how to fit them in the song melodically, because I think the words that you use are as important as how the words sound. Like the words have to sound right. I can't stand a song when you know that the person forced the lyrics in and they were like, I want to say this, and even though it doesn't fit the song, like that's where like a lot of writer's block happen, is you know you don't mean it and you end up throwing it away. And you know, a lot of these songs that you're coming up with, you're going to throw a lot of them away. But some of them you're going to finish, and if they stick with you, they stick with you. And this is a song that I think is going to stick with me for sure, and I'm going to continue working on it and kind of do the same thing. I got to come up with, you know, what's the second verse about? What's the end of this story? What do I want to say? How do I want to craft it? I got some ideas as well, but I'm going to come back at you later. I'm going to take some time to finish this song, and I hope you like seeing the back end of the process. But yeah, try it out. Take a book, grab a random book, grab something that inspires you. You know, as a songwriter, that's the biggest part of the work, is what's the inspiration. So if you can get inspired, however you finish that, that's the biggest part of the work, is just finishing it. But the inspiration, if nothing inspires you, if you can't get that first spark, then you're never going to write a song. So if you can crack that code of getting inspired, and when you have a song and you come up with the chord structure or guitar riff or whatever, the biggest thing I've learned that's helped me is never leave it without a title or some kind of word. Like if you just have the music, it's going to take you so long to finish it. That's what I found for me. That may be different from you. And I think, as everybody knows, like some songs come together in 5 minutes and you're done. I've written a couple songs that way where it's just like they came out of me, and sometimes it's just you just got to keep working at it. And hopefully this helps you. And just the big thing I want you to know is you're doing it right. And I'm excited to show you how this song turns out. And yeah, I'll post it later once I got it done, and then hopefully get into a studio, record it with the band, and yeah, thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, hope to see you back.